God blessed us with a business.
Out of time, in the time, out of time, in the time.
You're the one, you're my shawty, eh? You're so cute like a Barbie, eh? You're the one I wanna go with and build a future that until it all in grey. You know that I'm here to stay. You are my queen and you are my babe. We got a spot that never dies, no matter if night time or the day. You know that I'm here to stay. You are my queen and you are my babe. We got a spot that never dies, no matter if night time or the day. You know that I'm here to stay. You are my queen and you are my babe. We got a spot that never dies, no matter if night time or the day. Hey, see you my ride or die. Hey, I'ma be with you till the end of time. Yeah. See you my ride or die. I'ma be with you till the end of time. Yeah. You're the one, you're my shawty, eh? You're so cute like a Barbie, eh? You're the one I wanna go with and build a future that until it all in grey. You know that I'm here to stay. You are my queen and you are my babe. We got a spot that never dies, no matter if night time or the day.
What's up, Royalty Squad?
Y'all, so much has happened.
Since our last video, which was our reaction to our wedding video.
Where do we even start from, y'all? Alright, so this video is going to be talking about God a lot. This is 90% about God, you know? 99%, sorry.
1% about us.
Yep. So, as y'all know, if y'all was watching us, we was in Canada for like vacationing for like a month.
And that was in September. We got to get them the time frame. So in September, we went to Canada for a month.
Mm-hmm.
And October, November, December. We're now in December. And we are business owners. Literally. So, y'all might be wondering, how did that happen? You want to start? Or you want me to start?
I can start. So, we went down to Canada, you know, to honeymoon as well, but also because we got a word from God, you know, speaking on where He wants us to be. He never said when He wants us to be there, but God gave us a word both and told us He wants us to go down to Canada. So, you know, upon being on the honeymoon in Canada and stuff, you know, we were just praying a lot, asking God, what do you want us to do down here? What do you want us to do? We never heard nothing in terms of what He wanted us to do there.
And let me tell y'all, that was the most frustrating time for us because we had just gotten married and we wanted to know what's the next step. Well, what do we do? Do we try to migrate right away? How do we migrate legally? Like, what do you want for us to do? Because we had no ideas.
Yep.
And prior to that, like, within our time frame, like a month before that, even when we were on vacation, like, I started applying for jobs in Canada, like a few jobs. But like low-key, they were out of my league because they were asking for like a bunch of experience. They were asking for this and that, and all I had was a degree and no experience in my field, which is accounting. So it was kind of like a hit or miss, and I was just like, God told me He wants me here. Like, this is the only way. This is the only way, and that was all I could have done, you know.
Yep.
So I always tell myself, God helps those who help themselves. So I was like, I'm not going to just sit down because God told me He wants us there and just wait on Him to be like, oh, go and apply to this company. Like, no. So I was like, all right, let me start applying. And literally nothing became of those applications. Literally nothing. So that in itself was frustrating because it was kind of confusing because we had a whole month just praying, just talking to God continuously. Yep. And God spoke to us many times before, especially together. So we were kind of like expecting it low-key in the same way, even though we both know that it probably wasn't going to happen that way. But we had faith that it could have been in the same way or it could have been in a different way. But either way, we have faith that He was going to talk to us regardless in His timing.
And the crazy thing is, y'all, God didn't speak to us on terms of what He wants to do with us in Canada, or when, or how, or where. But I was praying for like hours, like every single day, just praying. And I remember telling my wife that God spoke to me and He said, breathe through my nose. Like, I always used to have some breathing problems. I used to breathe through my mouth only. So this became so normal to me, like I didn't care about it no more. Like, it's like whatever, you know.
Tell
This is
him why
life.
though. Like his nose was constantly
Yeah.
blocked up. It was constantly congested. So that's why he kind of resorted to breathing through his mouth. I don't know if it was sinuses. I don't know what
I
it
don't
was.
know, but I just know from the time I was young, I had breathing problems, and I always used to breathe through my nose, my mouth.
Right.
So God spoke to me, and He said, "Breathe through your nose," and gave me a Bible verse. I read it, you know. It spoke about how He breathed the breath of life into man through the nostrils. So it was like, and then I remember telling my wife, oh, it's just easy to just be breathing through your mouth. Cause every time I was eating and stuff like that, I had to be breathing through my mouth at the same time. So you could always tell that
He
I
was struggling.
you know. So God responded on that terms, and I was like, well, if He could respond and tell me that, but you know, not nothing about Canada. I guess it's not time, you know, it's not the right time. So you want me to skip forward to the flight going
Yeah.
back?
Yeah.
So you know, enjoy the vacation and all that stuff. Skip forward to when we were leaving to come back to Barbados. You could say your part now.
So I was on the airplane, and the whole time, my mindset was never, oh, let's open a business in Barbados, because we always had the mindset that we don't want to get comfortable here because God told us to move, so we need to get up ourselves, our little clothes in a luggage, and just dip, right? But around that time, on the way back to the plane, I just heard a voice literally just telling me, open a business in Barbados. And I found it so strange because I was like, God, I was waiting on you for a whole month. And now on the plane back from Canada, you're telling me open a business in Barbados. And I knew it was not my thoughts because that was not how, I was literally, listen, at that time Barbados was hot. It was just mucky. It was like kind of sad to be coming back home. And it was just like, gotta come back to this heat, gotta come back to this place. Like, you know? So, especially like after staying in Canada for a month, you kind of get used to the luxurious
just
lifestyle. You got Amazon at your disposal. You got a bunch of restaurants. And Canada is very efficient. So if you need something, just order it, you get it tomorrow. Like literally. And the famous Shein, like we just had everything at our disposal. But when I had those thoughts, I told hubby, because when we came back now, I was like, babe, this might sound weird, but I believe this is God talking. And I told him what God told me, because and I explained to him it couldn't be my thoughts because I don't want this. Like literally, I didn't want this at first. So then you could say your partner.
Right, so I was like, but babe, why would we open a business if we trying to leave Barbados? Because it doesn't make sense, you know? So I was like, well, let me not just shut it down and say that, you know, it doesn't make sense. So I prayed and I said, God, you really want us to open up a business? And I was like, you know, I didn't expect an answer right away or nothing like that, because you know God can respond whenever He wants to. So I remember we actually told ourselves, alright, let's drive and look at just empty spots that's renting and different stuff. We went to this one spot, just an empty room, no AC, nothing, so just horrible. We didn't really
Just horrible, and it was small.
yeah, we didn't really think nothing of it. So the night time when I went to sleep, I got a dream. In this dream now, God brought me to the spot where we are at right now. Literally standing right in front of the spot. And then after, we stood right in front of the spot and He showed me everything. And y'all, let me mention, this came with 2 AC units perfectly for me in the front, and a room for her to work in the back with its own AC unit, and everything literally just works out perfect. So after He showed me that there, He showed me a place in the dream, He then took me to the CN Towers. You know, I would put a picture of the CN Towers right here, but instead of the circle thing being at the top, it was at the bottom. And then as I walked through the door as I walked to step into the CN Towers, but the doors didn't open yet. As I walked and stepped on it, it shooted up to the air, straight above, higher than the CN Tower is right now. It shot straight up above every other building in existence. And then the doors opened. And then God showed me that basically telling me, when you go to this spot, you open up this business, I'm gonna raise you above everything else, and I'm gonna open doors for you. So he didn't even say a word. When God speaks to you, you know it in your spirit. And y'all, we spent a month in Canada. We were broke.
We became brokies.
Broke.
We became
We're
professional
gonna
brokies.
mention that because God gotta get glory, you know.
Yeah,
we
we were
became broke. You want
literally-
me to go into detail on how broke we became?
Yeah, tell them.
Because
But we like to
when
be
we
real.
came back, we just was spending. So
Yeah.
when we came back, y'all, we couldn't even buy
KFC.
or put gas in the car because we didn't manage your money well. That's
Yeah.
the truth.
And then because we don't have any streams of income where it's like
Yeah.
we could just be in another country and we could still be making money, we didn't have none of that. So every single day was just money coming out of our bank account.
Mm-hmm.
Just coming out, just coming out, just coming out. And let's not forget, we just got married in June. So
Right,
everything
so-
we recovered from, we just went to Canada, and it just takes 1 month for all your money. Sometimes it takes weeks only for all your money to just dwindle.
Yeah, like we weren't
So-
expecting to be able to travel for a month to begin with. Even with the wedding, everything was just God. Like God just.
That's
put it-
another
Yeah,
story
like God just
itself.
provided y'all like.
2 months before the wedding, I was literally like, how are we gonna afford this wedding? We literally made the date because we were like, we got engaged on this date. We want to get married.
I literally walked out by faith, y'all. Like Lord bless
We were
the
looking at
business.
venues before.
Like the
All
Lord
right.
blessed my like the Lord blessed the, like business with me, and I was able to just make that money for the wedding within the span of 2 months to just pay for everything. Like God provided, and then like people at the wedding were just blessing us, and I was just like, God, like you just keep amazing us, you know.
Yeah. So
Like
on the business, right? So after he got that word, no, I was like, this spot. He came to me. He was like, this is the spot, and I'm like, how you mean this spot? We barely looked at this spot. We were like, oh, whatever. We didn't care. We were like, oh, let's look at the other location. It looks okay, blah blah blah. And we couldn't see the spot fully because the back room was shut. And then like we just were like, oh cool. We didn't know if there was no for rent sign. That is very important. There was no for rent sign. There was no way for us to know if it was available because as far as we know, someone could have already signed the papers for this spot and starting construction on the inside.
nope. So
Crazy.
y'all, after God gave me this dream, the amount of faith that I had.
Was
Nobody could have tell me nothing.
supernatural.
Literally supernatural faith. I came here. We said, let's come here and see who owns the place, yada yada.
We got
and
the
I was
info.
just like, everything's gonna work out because God told me. So if God told me, it's gonna happen. You know, so got the information. As I was asking the lady, one of the workers that works at a store here, she said, I think it's already taken. I was like,
Yep.
it can't be taken because God showed me this.
She literally said, I think it's already
Yeah.
taken. And he was like, babe, it's not taken. And I'm like,
Yep.
if
Can't
you,
be taken.
how
God
did
showed
he
me.
know? You know?
Right. Like I was so sure. So we got the number. We was like, well, we're gonna call when we get home. But then you know, just in our spirit, we were just like, let's call no.
Yeah.
So we called the guy now, and
I spoke to him.
Yeah, she spoke to him. Yada yada. He
And we
said
arranged.
it's available. Jet is available right now. And all this time we talking, we don't got
A
no
cent.
money.
We don't got a red cent
don't
to
got
put toward the
no
business. We were just like, yeah, I need this info. It's that. Da, 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 da. We speaking as though we
Like,
got it like that.
yeah, we don't
Whole
got
time.
nothing.
He and I both know we didn't have it like that. But we were just moving by total faith.
Yep.
When that wasn't enough, we met up with the gentleman. And somebody had a birthday day. Let's start buying things for the business. Now I'm like, we don't even have a lease. We don't even have money for the spot. If they ask for a security deposit, that's double. And we don't got the money. A contractor, you have to pay contractor. Everything is just money. So he was like, let's just go. Now with the little money we had, we bought an open sign. We bought a wet floor sign. And what else we bought? Some decorations, like
Some
little flowers.
Yeah.
No, at that time, I was telling him, I was kind of teasing him. I was like, look at you buying things for the business. Like, oh my goodness, with our low money we got right now.
Yep.
And we were just like totally moving by faith. So, couple weeks, like a week or something later, we met up with the property owner. And We didn't know this at the time, but he liked us immediately. He didn't tell us that at the time.
I already told her God is working on whoever we're supposed to speak to his heart because he's going to give us favor.
Yeah. So I believe this, but at the time I was really in the middle. I was kind of in a place of trusting God, but still uncertainty. And I was finding it hard because I was like, why am I trusting God, but I'm dealing with all these emotions? And I spoke to him about it. And I was telling him, I feel sometimes like when I speak to God, I'm faithful, like I believe he's going to respond to me, and he doesn't. And I was telling him, like, I just feel very frustrated. In that place, at that time, mentally, I was in a bad place. So I was expressing that to him, like, well, when telling him this, like, my eyes was just full of water. I just wanted to cry. It was just like so much going on because financially we didn't have it, but we wanted this spot because God told us about this spot. He not only confirmed to me, but he confirmed to him and showed him further detail, which I believe happened because he's the man. He's the head of our marriage. So
I remember telling her the same way a mother knows their child's cries, like, you know, whether they're crying because they really need help or they just need a hug or they just need someone to listen to them. I remember telling her that. I said, God knows your cry and he knows what you need right now. So I remember God, you know, just comforting her through me as well, but comforting her as well. And, you know, it all worked. So, like, she literally realized, oh, God heard my prayers and God answered them, you know, because, like, it's so much favor. Literally so much favor.
you saw the gentleman just staring at us.
I saw him staring. Y'all, there has someone just staring through the glass, right? So, but we literally just received so much favor. And then on top of that, we got the lease. We got the lease started out.
But we still didn't have any money.
Right, no money. And then they found water leaking through the roof. So he said, we have to push the lease date to a further down date, which gave us more time for money to come for the lease. Like, what? We got like a whole other set of days, like a whole bunch of more days, like more than 10 more days for the lease to be opened up.
Yeah.
So that gave us time, and on top of that, God put it on one of my clients that are very, you know, that I became close to over the years, heart to just bless us in a way, you know, that's between me and her, like, however, but God put it on her heart to bless us, to help us out, and literally, yo, we thought we was gonna need so much more money, but God literally stretched the money. Yo, and let me also mention, we told ourselves we're gonna get a lease. I believe this was leaning on our own understanding, not a lease, a loan. We went to the bank, filled out all the papers for the loan, all that different stuff. They said they were gonna call in a week. I missed the call, and they say come back in 2 weeks so you could check on the update. We came back in 2 weeks. There was nothing in the banking system.
Nothing in the system.
We have never been to the bank in the system.
We sent everything in for them. I was the one responsible for sending it in. The guy gave me the email, everything. I sent everything in myself on the same day. I was in the bank. He said he received it. There was no other explanation. He received it. I don't know if it's that he didn't forward it or whatever, but either way, glory be to God because he knows best.
Yeah, because we were worried about a loan. Right?
Yeah.
No.
So basically, no, this is where things gets even more amazing. So my father is a contractor. So I spoke to him and I was like, Dad, like, we found this spot and we really want you to help us. Before we even get there, pause. So around that time, things were happening with where we were currently working. So we had home-based locations at the time. So in his setting, it was becoming very draining. In my setting, it was becoming very draining. So, excuse me, y'all, sorry. So basically, it just seemed as though the doors were being closed at our previous locations.
Literally everything just started going.
So it's not that everything was upside down on my end and not his. Everything just changed. Everything took a full 360. Things started to change. That I went through so much, like, mental, emotional, spiritual, all sort of different drains, and it was a lot at the time. It was so heavy, and we had conversations. We had countless conversations. You know, me crying, me expressing how I feel, and he would just comfort me and say, "This is all a part of God's plan. This is the double doors that God have promised us, and this is the start of Him blessing us." And I was like, I was finding it so hard to, like, see vision. Well, I saw the vision, but on one side I was like, oh, but this is so expensive and da da da.
Yeah.
How
And
we
yo,
do it?
as believers in Christ, it's okay to have doubt. God understands doubt. He doesn't
I actually
understand
found
unbelief.
it wrong.
Yeah.
I thought it was wrong for me
No,
to
it's not
feel
wrong.
like in the moment.
Yeah.
I felt like, why? Like my husband is so faithful. Why can't I be like my husband? But I came to terms that it's like I know God is going to do this, but if I feel doubtful or if I feel worried, you know, it's still normal because we're still in this flesh, you know.
But yeah, so God understands doubt, but you know, not unbelief. So doubt and unbelief, two different things, yo. So after that happened, where we at next? Yo, time is going by quickly, right? So we
Yeah.
got a client that's looking through the door, right? So
We
that's
got
why we're
7
looking
minutes.
around. Yeah, we're trying to stretch this into 6 minutes.
Yeah.
We're gonna make this the rest of this video last 6 minutes. So God understands doubt, not unbelief. So after that, we're gonna kind of speed it up a bit.
Yeah.
After that, you know, even when we were talking to her dad about the contracting and stuff, he was giving us some quotes from businesses. It was crazy. So we ended up, you know, being able to God literally stretch everything, all the materials, all this different stuff.
God spoke to him too and put it on his heart to,
Yeah.
to you know, help us a little extra more.
I'm not even.
Which is a huge blessing. I'm
Yeah.
going to insert clips and everything and him working with
I'm
the
not
other
even at the
workers.
beginning, y'all. It's like we thought we gotta pay this big amount of money. We just walk in by faith, and they literally finished the job within
2 weeks.
2 weeks, and that's not even a full 2 weeks. That's less than 2
So the
weeks
time
because
frame-
sometimes they would start from like just 6 o'clock,
o'clock,
or 8
8
o'clock in the
o'clock.
night to 12 p.m.
Yeah, because my dad
just
works
pushing,
another
yeah.
job. So when he would like finish his other job, do what he got to do, and then come to work after. So, yeah,
So they built up everything. Everything just went up so quick.
we're going to show y'all the
We
before
found
and
a
afters.
old
right now.
pack of LED strip lights that we thought we didn't even have no more at work to go around the mirrors. Everything just came together. And then when he finished everything, well, he wasn't going to do barber chairs, the barber chair we're sitting on, but he was just like, well, look, let's do it because we got extra
Because he
material.
wanted
You
to
know what I
help
mean? Like,
us. He wanted to
literally,
help us.
There was
It
extra
wasn't even
material.
his idea. It
Like,
was
we
the
just had
other.
extra
It was the
material.
other contractor's
Yeah.
idea. So we were reaching out to another guy, a upholstery man, and he was moving shady as heck. We couldn't reach out to him. He would call us at 6 o'clock, and we would call him back at a reasonable time in the day, and he wouldn't answer. He popped up at our location, and he was like, "Oh, I'm here," and I'm like,
Yeah, just
you don't
randomly,
operate."
yeah.
Whole time we were buying materials, so we couldn't be in two places at once.
Right.
So he was like, "We gotta arrange for another time." And thank God that happened, because then the other contractor had a great idea. "Oh, why don't you buy this material and we could just fill up something for you guys?" And I was like, "God, thank you." So everything worked out. Everything, literally, we're going to show y'all everything. Like the barbershop and the salon is nowhere near finished yet. There's so much we want to do with this space, but it is absolutely beautiful.
Yep.
And it's just,
And then on
thank
top
God.
of finishing all the work, her dad was just like, "How much you guys got for me?" We told him the total he told us, and he was just like, "Just give me this instead, you know." And it's like, just favor. God is good. And like good is not a good enough word for God. I don't know. It's not a good enough word. So we just thank God. We give God all the glory. And this business is about God. It's not from our hard work. One thing I could tell you guys, when God blesses you, you cannot take credit. You can't take credit because all these years I planned to open up shops and this stuff, but
It never happened.
when I had a relationship with God, I just pushed aside all desires of my own. And
When you
God
didn't
gave
have a
them back.
relationship with God.
Yeah, when I got a relationship with God, I pushed aside the desires to open up barbershops, all this different stuff, and God gave me it when I wasn't expecting it. God blessed us when we were not expecting it. Like, what?
So I
That's so
graduated
crazy to
in
me.
October. In November, we started construction for our business. Even in October, I didn't know if I was going to have money to pay for my graduation. Like, y'all, God is just so good. If y'all know, then y'all know that university graduations are hella expensive. They charge you for everything. They charge you for existing just to come and get a school. But I didn't graduate at BCC at my college because it was COVID. So it was like an online thing. And I was like, I'm not paying money for you to put up my picture. Leave me out. So I just collected my degree and that was it. So, yeah.
So that is not the full testimony.
Yeah.
But y'all get it.
Yeah.
We just want to give God the glory.
God
you know?
is good. And he's been blessing us. He's been blessing us, and I feel as though he's blessed us differently since we've been married.
Yeah, honestly.
These doors could not have been opened had we not been married. So all those people that don't believe in marriage and don't believe in how strongly God has His hand over married people, let this be an eye opener for you. God bless us. He put favor over us. He has softened the hearts of everyone around us. Literally everyone. The owners, my father, everyone, y'all. Like, he's been good to us. My father did more work than I even expected him to do, because he was like, you know what? Let me, you know?
Yeah, and also, y'all, there was a day I had $200 on my card, 200 cash. We went to a place just to look around at different stuff. We saw 4 stations, 100 each, the last 4. And I was like, this is no coincidence. And these are the stations we're using now. Instead of building like cupboards,
You didn't have 200.
I had 200 cash and 200 on card.
Oh.
So we had to use the 200 on card, 200 cash, put us at $0, and we got these things. I was like, this is not a coincidence. I'm taking it. God, I know you put this together. Literally, we was like, give us all 4, make sure nobody else don't get these. Yo, everything literally came together, and I give God the glory again. Yo, we gotta end the video now.
Yeah, because we gotta start working.
Yeah, we decided to do this before we started work, and it's literally, we started work at 9 o'clock. It's 8:59. So give God the glory.
If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video, and comment something, comment something helpful, comment something that is going to inspire someone else, comment something that is going to glorify God.
As simple as this. Jesus wants a relationship with you guys. Just seek Him with your whole heart, and you're gonna find Him there. So, alright.
We're out, y'all. Peace.